Welcome back to another amazing episode of Destination Morocco podcast. I am your host, Azdean al-Mustaqim. And in today's episode, I'm actually back in Marrakech after a year. So I'm here in Marrakech. I've been here for quite some time. And I'm going to be here for the next 12 days. And I'm really enjoying it. And I want to welcome back Ted, the producer of the podcast. You know, it's always fun to have you, Ted. And we always have a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things to discuss, you know, between us and also to share with the audience. So Ted, welcome back to the podcast. And what do we have for the audience for, you know, the rest of the 2025 and 2026?
Yeah, well, thanks very much. It's always great to be here. And I really particularly wanted to do this while we had the chance, because it's not. I don't know if the listeners and the viewers really understand that it's not that often that you are actually in Morocco. So we wanted to make the most of that. It's very authentic here today. I'm genuinely curious about, you know, what have you learned since you've been there, and what have you been up to, and just, you know, observations therefore on travel in Morocco these days here at the end of 25 as we head into 2026. So really just making the most of this opportunity. So I guess we'll start with what have you been up to since you arrived? How long have you been there up to this point?
I got here, the 23rd, I think the 23rd or 22nd of November.
Okay.
So
that's roughly, roughly 2-3 weeks by now. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I depart on December 24th. So I get home the Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And it's been a lot of fun. It's been just crazy, beautiful experience. So, I've done so much, I've experienced so much, and I also worked on so much. So I definitely want to share. And I love the way that you do the episodes, that the questions that you ask are just incredible. So I'm looking forward to what you have for me to answer.
Well, I mean, did you have a set of plans and itinerary of things to do, or it's been more spontaneous?
Well, both actually. Every time I come into Morocco, there's always things to do. You know, I always get with the team and, you know, we create as much content as we can, because I can't really do a lot of it in the US. So this is a great opportunity for me to do so. But the reason why I really came this time is because we had a group of travelers and it's their first time visiting Morocco, and I wanted to be there with them. I wanted to be there for them. I wanted to see their faces when they experience, you know, cultural, you know, things, and immersing themselves in with the locals and all those really nice and fun things. So that's the number one reason why I really came to Morocco at this time. I'm not really a big fan of the cold. I don't have any hair on my head, but it's been amazing. We learned so much, we've done so much, and we have accomplished so much. So, and we had fun along the way. So,
where were your guests from?
They are originally from the Caribbean, but they live in the US.
Yeah. So you went on a tour with them then for a few days?
Yes. Yeah, we did. Well, some of the groups, they arrived a little early. So total, I would say about 12 to 13 days. But the group collectively, it was 9 days.
Okay. So tell us where you went. What did you do?
Well, we did, they landed in Casablanca. So the arrival city was Casablanca. Then the departure city was Casablanca as well. And then we did everything in between. I know it's a little bit jam-packed. There's a lot of driving. But we did the best that we could, because we wanted them to see Morocco, to experience at least most of it, so they can tell their friends, and if they had an opportunity to come back, to do so, and they're definitely coming back to visit Morocco again. So we did Casablanca, then we did Rabat, then from Rabat we did, Fes. It's always fun. And then we went to Midelt, from Midelt, then we went to Dadès Valley, then the desert, and back again, to Marrakech, and we stayed a couple of days in Marrakech. So it was incredible. Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of the circuit from Fez down somewhat the eastern side of the country to Merzouga, and then back across the bottom over the mountains to Marrakech.
Absolutely. That's right. That's right. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of activities did you guys do?
Well, we did something I experienced for the first time. So because everybody's different, and when we build those itineraries, they're really, really customizable. So I had an opportunity to see something new this tour, to visit and experience something new. So definitely did the nomad experience. We did a cave experience. We did a Berber experience, obviously, and everybody loved it. And the other thing that I really, really liked, and this group of people, they're super, super generous, very nice, and they love any country they have visited. They always make an impact in terms of the locals. They did donations, charity, and it was just incredible. So their effects have been seen throughout Morocco, literally, if you would. And then, when they come to Morocco, they shop. So they're really supporting the local economy and supporting us. So we're very grateful for that.
I'm curious about the Berber experience. So where did you do that, and what did that involve?
Oh, that's a good question. The Berber experience could be done in so many different parts of Morocco, as you know, especially in the mountains, whether you're in the north side of Morocco or the southern part of Morocco. So this time we did it when we left Fez, on the way to normally we make a stop at Ifran, then we go to the cedar forest to see the macaw monkeys. And the macaw monkeys, they're kind of funny. They're not there all the time. They have a busy schedule. So if you're lucky, you'll meet them. If not, then you just keep driving.
Okay.
And that's what we did. And we did it in the mountains, the Rif Mountains. And it was snowy. It was very cold. But at the same time, it was fun. So we met a family, a lady with her kids, 2 children. All the people, they loved it. They loved that experience because they see, the good in Morocco, they see the bad in Morocco, they see some people have, a lot of things. They see some people have, very simple life. And the most important thing is they're happy with what they have and they don't take anything for granted. So it was an eye-opening experience for me. So just to see it live and to see the generosity of the travelers was amazing.
Nice. And you mentioned you did a cave experience too?
Yes, we did a cave experience. This is when we just left Fez, and a small city. It's next to a high school, if you would, and you would never think of a cave next to a high school. And the house from outside looks a typical Moroccan house, but then when you go down a few stairs, and then you see the entrance of the cave, and it's mesmerizing. It was a really, really, really neat experience. We've never done cave before. In that particular part of the country, if you would. And again, the travelers really, really loved it because we're going back in, the gentleman was talking about himself, was talking about his, family going back 29 generations. So it's a lot of history in those, in that area and that cave, and also with his family.
Yeah, interesting. Is this like a deep cave that you really go far? Like, how long were you there?
I think we were there probably about an hour and a half. Yeah,
Okay.
an hour and a half. We did, minty, obviously. Anywhere you go, you have to drink it. And it tastes a little bit different, depending on the region. So depending, again, on the herbs that are available in that area, so in the mountains, which was really, really nice. The cave is not really very deep, but you can see where the kitchen is, where they sleep, with the living room and all that stuff. So
they actually live in this cave?
They actually do, yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. Well, geez. I mean, it's warm, it's comfortable, and...
It is. You're absolutely right, because I remember when Fez was cold, so when we left and we came outside the cave, it's really, really cold, but then once you go inside the cave, it's very warm. And also the summertime, it's the exact opposite. It's very hot outside, and inside it's really cool. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So there's some modern amenities in it. Is electricity, I guess, and stuff like that?
Yes, of course. Yes, there is Yes, there is light, and it looks modern now, but back in the day, there's no light, just candles and very basic stuff. So, and it looked a little familiar to me, looking at the tools we still use today in our own village as well.
It's just the one family that lives in it?
Yes, just one family. Yeah.
How'd you find out about this place? Like, is it on the kind of tourist route or something new and different?
It's this is one of the best kept secrets. This you cannot find this on your own. Somebody has to refer you. They have to come through us, or you have to figure it out. But when you book with us, Yeah.
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 I mean,
This
unless
is,
they're kind of advertising, come visit our cave, right? We live in this cave. Come visit, maybe. But I would think probably it's like, yeah, if people want to come see, that's okay, but you got to plan and,
yeah,
and arrange it. So that's
absolutely.
say it's
Yes.
good to know the right people.
Yeah. That's the key word. You have to arrange it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I hadn't heard of that before. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was reminded me too of I was going to ask you about food. So, did you have anything different maybe in terms of food? We've been talking a lot about food lately in the last few episodes. Anything stand out on this tour? Dishes that you tried?
Well, the food, when I tell people when you come to Morocco, when it comes to food, you have to be very specific. If you have any, dietary restriction, you need to make sure that the food that you eat will be available at a certain city or a certain village, because that can be really a challenge. So, and if it's not, then you let people know, hey, this is what I eat. Am I going to be okay going to the mountains or going to the city or going to the desert and having this type of food? And it's really, really important, because we get a lot of people, for example, that say, hey, I'm vegetarian, but I also eat, seafood. Or I eat seafood and allergic to shellfish. So we have to be very careful. And we tend, let's say when we're in intercities where there's no ocean and stuff, we tend to stay away from the fish in general, because it has to be coming from a different city, and we don't know if it's the catch of the day, if it's fresh or how fresh it is, if it's a few days old and stuff like that. So we have to be very careful. If we're in a coastal city like Casablanca or Essaouira, yeah, fish is available everywhere. Tangier the same. You're going to get really, really good quality. But then when you go to the desert and say, hey, I want to have salmon for dinner, it's very questionable, So that salmon may not be the freshest. And again, you don't want to eat something that it's going to really affect you for the rest of the tour, or at least hurt you, your stomach and stuff like that. So they may not seem like they're a big deal, but they actually are. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, did you run into any issues or challenges on this trip?
100%, yes. Many of them, yes.
Okay. I imagine it's particularly challenging. I mean, you can kind of imagine in like Merzouga and their luxury desert camps, and I mean, seafood's one thing, that's a transport issue, but generally, like, these guys have all the facilities you need, right? But when you're in some of these smaller towns in between, and they're really quite small and remote, like, how do they accommodate dietary restrictions? Do you have to bring, as a tour, or your guide, of course, would organize this, but do you have to bring food with you?
In some cases, it's best to do so. The reason is because there's not going to be any availability at that village or at that, let's say, for example, you're going from Fas to Midelt. When you're in Midelt, the food is amazing, by the way. It is incredible. But then certain food may not be available to you in Midelt. If it's just one day, you can just bring something with you, or we can bring it for you with us, from Fas and stuff like that, and have it prepared. But, just to be on the safe side.
Did you get some feedback from them in the end once it all wrapped up?
Yes, they had an amazing time. They're definitely coming back for 2027. We're talking about it already. So this was an amazing experience and a very, very good learning experience for all of us. So and they've been super nice, very, very gracious, very, really, really nice people.
Oh, good. Well, this is what I'm curious about too, because like, what was it like for you to be back in Fez or Merzouga, places that you don't go to, even if you go to Marrakech from time to time? Going, further places than that obviously takes more time and effort. So what was it like being back in Fez this time? The last time was, at least a couple of years ago?
Yes,
right?
Yes. It was a couple of years ago. And I remember Malahfed was our local guide. He did an amazing job. And this year, we're normally on the regular tours or private tours, we do local guides. So when you get to Fez, you'll have a local guide in Fez. When you get to Voribilis, you'll have a local guide in Voribilis, and so forth and so forth. This time, because of the size of the group, we had to take with us a national guide, a certified national guide, it was just an amazing experience for so many reasons. The knowledge was different. It's like they really complete each other in a way. So the experience that we had in Fez was really, really, really good. The other thing is, Ted, when you have a local guide will have certain knowledge, a national tour guide, certified national tour guide, will have some knowledge as well. And every tour again is different because it is led by a different guide. I won't specify local or national. It doesn't really
everyone has
matter
their own
because the
style,
knowledge
yeah.
is there. Yeah, exactly. You're absolutely right. So in that style, some may show you, for example, in Fez, the King's Palace in one way under certain lights. Then the other one will show it to you in a completely different way. And both of them are amazing. So like I said, in a way, they complete each other. And then you go to the Jewish quarter and you learn something new. Yeah. In every tour, in every city, I have learned something new, 100%. So it's like, it felt really like it's really my first time doing the tour. It's like my first time visiting Marrakech, my first time visiting Casablanca, Fez and all those beautiful cities. So, and again, we've talked about it Ted, many, many times, and you've mentioned it yourself, the local guides, the tour guides, they really make or break the tour. And we highly recommend them. We highly recommend working with them because they're really, really worth it.
Yeah, it makes all the difference. And it's nice, I mean, it's great to have the national guide there that's with you the whole time, and you get to know them very well, right? And I have a relationship and all that. And then to balance that with the local guides who are such experts in their city or where they are. And I mean, it just kind of mixes up a bit of the feel of the tour, as somebody new. But even then, typically you do a local tour with somebody. It's at least a couple hours, if not more. And, again, it's enough time. And because they're either with you guys, right, small group tours or private tours, so you do have that chance to really interact and ask questions. It's not some big bus tour with 50 people. You never
That's
really
right.
get to know the guide. Like, you get to know your guides, which is really nice.
Absolutely. And also the other thing, and this is the advantage of having a national certified guide with you. He's in the vehicle with you, and he can explain. We had two separate vehicles, and he can explain to both, people or travelers in both vehicles. So a lot of people in between city to city or a village or so forth, between a stop to stop, if you would, they do have a lot of questions. They want to know a little bit more. They have, they heard something, they want to confirm it or anything. That's the benefit of it, because he's right there with them, answering all their questions and also keeping them entertained in a way and not really, really bored. Plus, again, we've talked about it many times. The scenery really, really changes. And with those changes come, more questions. So
Yeah. So did he move back and forth between the two vehicles?
No, because we connected both vehicles via Bluetooth. So they can hear him through the radio. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I guess that helps you guys then accommodate slightly larger groups, right?
Yes.
More than the capacity of a vehicle, let's say.
Absolutely.
So what's it been like being back in Morocco, just in general? Does it feel like it's changed in the last couple of years?
It has always changed. It's kind of weird because every time I come into Morocco, I promise you that it really, really feels like it's my first time coming back. That excitement, that burning desire, that that first look, that first touchdown of the airplane, that smell, then you're in line, you see customs. It's like, okay, I'm getting closer. You get out of customs, you go to luggage claim. Okay, I got my luggage. I'm excited. Then you go out and it's like, hey, who's picking me up today? Looking for that person. So it's just, it's a feeling that it's honestly indescribable, but it's more felt that I can, I don't really know how to truly describe it, but I love it. It's amazing. So, yeah.
Did you fly to Casablanca this time or Marrakech?
Marrakech. Don't say anything. I don't like Casablanca. I'm joking. That's a really good point, Ted, because the reason I am from Marrakech, and I don't want to really sound biased, but I love Marrakech. Casablanca, the airport for me is really hit and miss, but it's a really good opportunity since you mentioned it, Ted. Recently, last couple of months, there has been a new flight with Delta Airlines from Atlanta, Georgia, directly to Marrakech. So this is going to be the flight that I'm going to be taking because it is super convenient. 7, maybe 8 hours. It's definitely worth it. Then you have the direct flight from Miami to Casablanca, Washington to Casablanca, New York to Casablanca, New York to Marrakech. And then in 2026, they're adding another line from direct flight from Los Angeles to Casablanca. So for the US market, that Canadian market, there's a lot of options for you to fly directly to Morocco versus going through Asia or Europe. So
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, well, I kind of had a feeling. We hadn't chatted about this before, but I was curious how you got there because of all these new flights lately. So I'm glad to hear you're able to go straight to Marrakech. It makes sense, Atlanta. It's that big hub, right? So people can usually easily get themselves to Atlanta and then from there straight to Marrakech, which has a really nice airport. It's a modern airport. It's a bit newer.
yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. I mean, have you noticed other changes then around Marrakech since you've been there?
Well, yes, the biggest change anybody comes to Marrakech, you're going to see construction everywhere. It feels like the city is really, really upside down, whether it's just regular streets, major streets, or even the square. I see the advancement. I see they're getting ready, almost finishing up the last touches. Because if you remember, Ted, a year ago, we talked about the events that are happening in Morocco. And next week, we're going to have the African Cup. Morocco is hosting it. And you have Marrakech is one of the city. They're going to have some games played. Agadir, Casablanca, Rabat, Fas, and Tangier, I believe. So they're really doing the last touches and getting ready for that. Also, it's a good opportunity for them to get ready for the World Cup in 2023 as well. So there's a lot of things happening, a lot of things going on in Morocco in terms of tourism, in terms of events, whether it's corporate events or whether it's wedding and stuff like that. So it's really, really, really busy. Yeah, Marrakech is super packed, yes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, now, again, we're talking kind of mid-December here. This episode will come out in a couple of weeks, by which time the tournament will have started. But are you already seeing people arriving and setting up for the African Cup?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
It's, Marrakech, I just want to give you an idea. Literally, they dig up the square of Jemaa el-Fna, a few months ago or, a year or so ago in regards to getting ready for this month, and what's the event that is going to happen this month. And also, I think in terms of the square, they're just putting up the last layer of what they need to get done. So if you remember, Ted, when you came in to the square, you'll see, especially around 5 or, at this time, probably around 4:30 or so, all those food stalls, they start getting ready to set up, for the night. And they stay all the way up probably to 4 or 5 in the morning. But this time, because of the restrictions and also because of the construction, they cut them in half. So when you go to Jemaa el-Fna, you'll see just half of the operation, really, if you would, and they're kind of rotating. If you have your booth for this week, next week, somebody else will have your, the spot and so forth, until the construction is complete, then everything will go back to normal. So it's, at least they're not shutting them down completely, but it's kind of doing it halfway, if you would.
Yeah. But so the plan is to get that construction done like right away or soon here for the tournament?
Yes. Yeah, definitely, yes.
Okay. Interesting. Besides that, does it feel like there's a lot of, it's maybe hard to tell, but you can often tell, your soccer, your football tourists, besides regular tourists, does it feel like there are a lot of just regular tourists kind of coming there over the holidays and and exploring?
It's packed. One thing that we don't really pay attention, us just regular folks or the locals, the media presence. You have media coming from all over, and they're not like us. You want to watch the game, you're probably going to get there a day before. But for them, they get there 2 weeks, 3 weeks before, because they have to, film many things, they have to prepare many things and all that stuff. So the media is already here, and it's jam-packed. I've seen it as well in Casablanca. In Rabat, I didn't get to see it much, but in those two major cities, you can definitely see it. There's a lot of hustle and bustle.
What about accommodation? Maybe this goes back to your tour in particular, but how busy is accommodation? And where are people staying these days?
They're staying everywhere they can find available.
That's just it.
Yeah, because, we talked about this a while back. Even I remember if you're in March 2025 and looking to book in December 2025, it's probably late. So, and that's how busy it is. You can just imagine it. 9 months out of. So it is super busy.
Mm-hmm. Let's chat a bit about the year to come then, 2026. We're starting the new year. I mean, there's this big tournament, but of course that'll be done in a couple of weeks or so. do you know offhand of other big events or, big maybe changes or additions to the tourism scene kind of thing that people can look forward to this year?
Sure. Just recently when I got to Morocco, to Marrakech specifically, I've seen, a police presence, all type of police, gendarme, army and stuff. And I was like, hey, what's going on? Then I was told that, Marrakech is hosting the international Interpol meeting. It is a big deal, trust me. So when we talk about safety in Morocco, there's nothing that tell you Morocco is safe better than hosting the international meeting for Interpol. So you can just imagine, that's a big deal. So then the other thing that happened just right after it finishes, Marrakech hosted its 22nd International Marrakech Festival. When stars come out, from all over the globe, and it's a major event. So Marrakech hosted those back to back. So again, you can just imagine the hassle and bustle, and it's super busy. So next year, I project the tourism will slow down a little bit because again, the events, especially the soccer ones, they're major, they're huge, and they attract a lot of tourists and crowds. Yeah. They're not going to be happening in 2026. But in tourism, in terms of visitors, tourists, it's still going to be busy, not to that level probably, but because everybody's going to be talking about their experiences, what they have witnessed in 2025, and it's going to make people want to come and visit it. And again, if you remember this is, the momentum that Morocco got after the World Cup, the last World Cup in Qatar in 2022. They went all the way to the semifinals. A lot of people didn't know anything about Morocco. And because of that, the tourism industry really benefited from it. And, a lot of people came and visited Morocco. And again, when we talk about numbers, Ted, last year we said there were 17.4 million visitors. Now we're in December, and some time ago, I think they did a study in October, I believe, and they have reached 18 million.
Wow.
So they have surpassed. Exactly, yes. So this is, if it tells you anything, it's, in terms of tourism in Morocco, it's really big. It's improving, and more people are coming to visit Morocco. So I'm not sure what the numbers will look like in 2026, but I know it's already busy because the numbers what we have seen is the bookings that we have seen, especially the first year of 2026. January is definitely the busiest probably ever because of the finals, and a lot of people are going to be here. February, normally it's kind of quiet, but I don't think so. And then March, the busy season. You have March, April, and May. That's the busy season. So tourism it's going to be pretty busy season 2026.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's just it. I was going to ask you, is there a time of year, maybe this year in particular, that you recommend people visit, and perhaps in specifically for those who haven't booked something yet, if they're thinking of going in 2026, when would you recommend this is the best time to come if they can?
I would say it's a really good question, Ted. I always say 6 months. If you're gonna do something in December, a minimum of 9 months, because once those accommodations are gone, the local guides, the good ones, are booked. You don't have a lot of options, so don't take that chance. Right now we have bookings, for 2027. We have bookings to September, October 2026. People are really booking early, and I think I could be wrong, and I think the reason is because they've learned from 2025. They probably wanted to come to Morocco in 2025, and they didn't have a lot of options, so they postponed it to 2026. But the bookings that we have seen, people are really booking ahead of time, which is really good news, Ted, if you would. So,
well, that's where it gives you the best choice for sure, the best options. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Where to stay and the type of tours you want to do, and even specific people if you have someone in mind.
Definitely. Yeah.
What else have you got planned then while you're still there over the next almost a couple of weeks? But, any other activities and things you're up to in Marrakech before you head home?
Oh, my God. This is something that we did today. We went to a studio and we did 40 voiceover commercials. Eddie and Yusuf did an amazing job. And we just shared some of the stories today. If you go into our Instagram account, you'll see them. I want to do an episode with someone, if I can, within next probably week or so, if possible. If not, next time when I come back, I'll definitely use it. But also, I appreciate this opportunity with the guys because we don't see each other much. during that session, we'll record, we take a break, we do selfies, we take profile pictures and stuff. And I was thinking, it's 2025. And I remember 2021 when we actually started the podcast. So you stuck with me for 1 year before we did anything.
That's right.
We recorded a few episodes and we never published them. Yeah. And I'm nervous, I'm a mess, and I don't know how to read. It is true. I struggle with reading the script. And so I have to do it in a certain way. Otherwise, I just cannot read it. And I'm very grateful for you, Ted. And I told you I would never get tired of saying I'm very grateful. I always say the same thing again and again. I am the host, but the podcast is really Ted. I mean, he does everything. And I really, 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 really appreciate it. So if anybody needs help with the podcast, with editing, Ted is your guy. No, because it's that's how I honestly feel. And I felt it then and I still feel it. So, and you've been super patient with me in so many different ways. And I feel very fortunate to have you be part of the podcast, be part of this whole journey. It's been just beyond incredible. We're over 150 different countries. We reach all, continents, if you would. It's just amazing the impact that the podcast had on the listeners. So I'm super grateful to the listeners, super grateful to be part of it. And thank you, Ted. So.
Well, it's my pleasure. That's just it. It's why I love this this medium, because there's really nothing else like podcasting, where people give you their time in this world of 30-second videos and all this stuff. And people want something that's more in depth and conversation and really getting in to understand topics. And travel's a great one, broadly speaking. Morocco is fascinating. It's such a great way to explain what Morocco is like and really understand. And in practical ways, to learn what accommodation options are like and what riads are like. And of course the food and all the various activities and things. And, you throw in a bit of history for sure and some of the culture. You've had your language lessons. That's fun. So there's so much you can do with the podcast. It's a big reason why I love doing this. But yeah, it's true. We're coming up on our first full episode then was in February of 2022, right? Yeah. So we're coming up on 4 years since we really launched the show. And the other reason why I wanted to record this with you today is because by our count, at least, this is officially our 100th episode.
Oh my God.
Now we have done more. We've done bonus ones and we've done some live Q&A ones and stuff. But as far as regular episodes go, people will see it in the apps, like the number of episode. This is number 100. It should say that at least. So yes, that's a bit of a milestone. That's nice to celebrate, and especially once you're there in Marrakech right now, which is pretty cool. We don't get this opportunity very often.
Yes, I remember because we did an episode last time in 2023 on the way to Morocco, and I did it, I believe, in Munich. That's when I recorded.
You were in a stopover.
It was amazing. Yes.
That's right.
Wow. Thank you.
So yeah, it's been fun. It's great to catch up on your trip and how things are looking there in Morocco, especially for the coming year.
Absolutely.
And I think we'll leave it at that. We'll certainly wish everybody a wonderful year here in 2026. We'd love to see you in Morocco. And maybe we'll leave this as a final note. We love hearing people's stories on the podcast who've been on tours and, share their thoughts and experience, perspective. So if you've been on a tour with Azdean, Destination Morocco, or if you're heading there at some point this year, keep it in mind. We'd really love to hear your stories here. Come on the show. We'll tell you how it all works and the tech and the setup. That's pretty straightforward, but feel free to reach out. We'd love to hear your stories.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Are you looking for a personalized Moroccan experience? Merhaba, and welcome to Destinations Morocco. I am your host, Azdean Al-Mustaqi. Our family-run company crafts private and small group tours to my beautiful homeland. We encourage you to choose your own adventure. Let us know what you would like to see, what you would like to do, and how you would like to experience it. We put together a tour based on your interests and priorities. The podcast is here to help you find ideas and inspirations. Let us plan your perfect Moroccan tour. Schedule a free 30-minute discovery call today at destinationsmorocco.com.